Everybody fasten your seatbelts because it's time for liftoff.
10, 9, 8, 7,
Countdown with
6,
me.
5,
Come on.
4,
3,
2,
2,
1,
1.
Ignition.
All right.
Liftoff.
Start me up.
Liftoff.
Start me up and never stop, never stop. You make a grown man cry. Here we go.
Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. Get ready for the ride of your life.
The show with no name time.
On Vaughn Radio.
You got it, baby.
It's a show with no name.
Where? It's the show. Sing it.
Let's go. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening to
Vaughn Radio.
It's Halloween. Not yet, but we are officially ready for Halloween. Get your chainsaws. Vuestras sierras, you call them? Sierra mecánica, sierra eléctrica. Grab your chainsaws, amigo. Ow, ow, ow. I'm gonna need that. Folks, Halloween is in the air. That's right. It's the show with no name, and we are ready to celebrate as we do every day on this show. We celebrate the fact that we're feeling good, that we can be together, that we can learn together, that we can challenge ourselves and each other. And if you came here to do that today, well, a nice round of applause for you, show with no namer. Get pumped. Motivate. I'm serious. Get pumped because we've got an amazing show for you. We're going to learn so much. We're going to play. We're going to have fun. And I know that you guys are nice and warm. El nice and este, hay que saberlo. Nice and warm. Because you listen to my buddy's show, No Excuses with Fitz. It's right before this program, and it's the best way to warm up for the show with no name and all the challenges that lie ahead. Qué poético. All the challenges that lie ahead, que están por delante. And if you love challenges, then you're going to love our upcoming Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. Hey, Lara, do you have any plans for November 1st?
Hey, Daddy. Yeah. It's Vaughn Radio. Trivia night, baby.
Where is it taking place?
It's at Real Madrid.
What time does it start?
It's at 8:30. Get there at 8.
And who's hosting this time?
Seriously? Come on, Daddy. It's your turn.
Thank God my daughter isn't as forgetful as I am. I'm going to jot it down this time. And so should you. We'll see you for another Vaughn Radio Trivia Night at Roll Madrid, hosted by yours truly, un servidor. I'll see you November 1st at 8:30 p.m. at Roll Madrid for another exciting Vaughn Radio Trivia Night.
Be there or be square, amigos.
That's right. Be there or be square. And to be square, if you're square, you're like cuadrado. Like you can't think outside of the box. You're boring. You're dull. So if you can be there, I'd love to see you all. It's November 1st, and I am going to challenge you. And this time, since it's All Saints Day, the day after Halloween, well, the challenges are going to be horror-based. So music and series, things that throughout the years, Frankenstein, all kinds of things like that, monsters. So if you know if you don't know it, you can read up on this stuff. Listen to the top 10 Halloween songs. And I've got some really cool upcoming things ready for Halloween. I can't wait. It's going to be so good. It's going to be a scream. What? A scream es un buen rato, una risitas. You know it. They really are a scream. The Addams Family. They really are a scream. Pero para que tengan las sílabas correctas, dicen scream. They really are a scream. The Addams Family. So if you love horror stuff, if you love trivia, if you love challenges, then you are going to love the Vaughn Radio Trivia Night coming up on November 1st. And you're also going to love today's pop quiz. Come on. Come on, baby, baby. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. That's right, amigos. That's right. It is our pop quiz here on the show with No Name. And as always, it comes from either one of my posts, one of Vaughn's posts, one of my buddies' posts, or one of our materials. And today it's coming from Essential English, el inglés imprescindible para situaciones cotidianas. Essential English. It's really great. It is really cool because you've got all kinds of situations. You've got audio, so you've got housework, personal items, at the bakery, traveling by train, at the airport, delays and cancellation, at the beach, going outdoors. What else here? Family, going out, dating. Hey, that could be really important. All right, so check it out. It's Essential English, and it's available at Vaughn Tienda, vaughntienda.com. If you guys are in Bilbao, Valladolid, Zaragoza, Barcelona, Valencia, Santander, Vigo, or Madrid, please stop by in person. We would love to meet you. Now, if you have this book, then you can follow along. It's Essential English, again, with downloadable audio, like all of our materials. It is track, which is pista 86, track 86, and it is page 198, and it has to do with giving presentations. So I want you guys to listen very carefully, because when we're done listening to this, well, that's when the challenge starts. So pay close attention to this little piece on presentations.
Pista 86.
Giving presentations.
Empezar.
To start off.
Terminar.
To finish off.
En primer
Lastly.
resumir, destacar.
To outline.
En resumen,
In a nutshell.
la conclusión, el resultado final.
The bottom line.
Por un lado, pero por otro.
On the one hand, but on the other hand.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me start off by saying that I feel honored to be here.
Excuse me, is this the marketing seminar?
No. This is the presentation on sustainability in emerging markets.
Oh, sorry.
It's fine. Well, as I was saying, I feel honored to be here today. Firstly, I wanted to thank...
Excuse me, I can't hear what you're saying.
I see that the microphone isn't switched on. What about now? Okay, great. It's working. Well, as I was saying, I feel honored to be here. And I'd like to start off by thanking my colleague, Sandra. She can't be here today. However, I'd like to talk about her research and the role she has played in my project. She's been very helpful. She's been so helpful in, well, the bottom line is she's been great. On the one hand, I never thought I would have the chance to travel to Africa. And is anyone going to answer that? In a nutshell, without her, I wouldn't be here today giving this presentation. It hasn't always been easy. Nevertheless, I think the results of my studies show real progress. Let me now outline.
Translation time.
1. Permítanme que resuma los principales puntos de mi presentación.
Let me outline the main points of my presentation.
2. En primer lugar, deberíamos mejorar nuestra atención al cliente.
Firstly, we should improve our customer service.
3. En segundo lugar, deberíamos contratar a más comerciales.
Secondly, we should hire more salespeople.
4. Él dijo que estaba terminando. Sin embargo, siguió hablando 2 horas más.
He said he was finishing off. Nevertheless, he kept talking for 2 more hours.
5. Me gustaría empezar describiendo las ventajas.
I'd like to start off by outlining the advantages.
6. Por un lado, podría ser una buena oportunidad.
On the one hand, it could be a good opportunity.
7. Por otro lado, no tenemos mucha experiencia en el sector.
On the other hand, we don't have much experience in the sector.
8. En resumen, la investigación muestra muy pocos avances.
In a nutshell, the research shows very little progress.
9. Estoy segura de que él lo sabe. Sin embargo, recuérdale que la presentación empieza a las 6.
I'm sure he knows. However, remind him that the presentation starts at 6 p.m.
10. La conclusión final es que deberíamos invertir en el sector inmobiliario.
The bottom line is that we should invest in real estate. Practice time.
Reformula las frases sustituyendo
But,
por
however,
y
in spite of this,
por.
nevertheless.
1.
The results are positive, but there are risks. The results are positive. However, there are risks.
2.
We don't have much money. In spite of this, we want to invest in real estate. We don't have much money. Nevertheless, we want to invest in real estate.
3.
There's a meeting this afternoon, but I can't attend. There's a meeting this afternoon. However, I can't attend.
4.
The sales figures are very good, but we're not very optimistic for next year. The sales figures are very good. However, we're not very optimistic for next year.
5.
The sales figures aren't good. In spite of this, we're optimistic for the next quarter. The sales figures aren't good. Nevertheless, we're optimistic for the next quarter.
Conecta las dos ideas usando
On the one hand,
y.
but on the other hand.
6.
It's a good opportunity. We could lose money. On the one hand, it's a good opportunity, but on the other hand, we could lose money.
7.
I'm in a higher position now. I enjoyed my previous job more. On the one hand, I'm in a higher position now, but on the other hand, I enjoyed my previous job more.
8.
The production process is cheap. It's not sustainable. On the one hand, the production process is cheap, but on the other hand, it's not sustainable.
All right. Great job. Great job over there. That was Claudia and Carmen. Claudia and Carmen, and you probably recognized another male voice in there. I was the one who was doing the presentation. So, folks, that is the audio I wanted you to listen to. Now, here's what I want you to do in today's pop quiz. We looked at some really awesome vocabulary in there. To start off, to finish off, firstly, secondly, thirdly, to outline, resumir, destacar, to point out. A mí me encanta esa, porque es literalmente señalar. Let me point out a few things. Let me outline a few things. También muy bien, in a nutshell, or summing up, right? Summing up es otra forma de decir en resumidas cuentas. The bottom line, lo usamos siempre, and that is la conclusión, el resultado final. What's the bottom line? También the bottom line is a synonym for money. So companies are doing things and they're always thinking about the bottom line. All right. So some really awesome vocabulary. Now, what do I want from you? I want you to do two things today. The first thing, I want you to use a pesar de, and I want you to use it in your context. Okay. So a pesar de, again, in your context. All right. The second part, I want you to use what we heard Claudia use. Por un lado, ta, 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 pero por otro lado. And in both cases, I want you to be creative and I want you to use it in a way that you would use it, to personalize the language, as I always say. All right? So, again, today's pop quiz. Part 1, give it to me all together. Use a pesar de. I want to know if you know how to use it. And again, how would you use that? Right now, si tuvieras que decirlo en español, entonces, pues pon esa frase en inglés. Personalízalo, as we always say. And the second one is I want you to use both of these in the same sentence. So, por un lado, ta, 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 pero por otro, o en cambio, would be another way to say it as well, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so there you go, guys. That is your pop quiz for today. Let's see how you guys do. I'm sure we'll get a lot of original answers, as we always do, because you guys are one of a kind. One of a kind is único. Oh, and it almost slipped my mind. Una frase que vimos la semana pasada. It almost slipped my mind. We need to take a look at this week's question of the week.
Question of the week.
That's right. That's right. It's question of the week over here, folks. And as always, this is a section where I ask you guys to not only participate, but to actually be a part of the show. So when this show gets turned into a podcast and Nacho uploads it or Tino to the server, your voice is now heard everywhere in the world. And believe me, I know it from FYI, my personal podcast. People all over the world are learning English. So congratulations to all of you who participate. You're not only improving your English speaking, defending your point of view, but you're also being heard by thousands and thousands of people. No pressure. No pressure whatsoever. But seriously, folks, I'd love for you to participate this week. As you know, and if you couldn't tell, I love Halloween. Oh, man, do I love it. Well, this week, I want to know what your biggest phobia or superstition is. Remember, phobia in English se escribe con PH. So what is your biggest phobia or superstition? Maybe you don't have a phobia. Well, then tell me a superstition. Or maybe a ritual. Something that if you don't do it, your life is going to go horribly wrong. Right? You know what I'm talking about. All right. So, my amigos, there it is. If you want to participate, send me a 1-minute voice message. You can go over 10 seconds or be under 10 seconds, but I think a minute is more than enough time to say, hey, it's Alberto. I'm just checking in. Fichando. I'm just checking in. I want to say hello to all my fellow show with no namers. And my biggest phobia is blah, 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 blah. And then, well, we'll learn more about you. You'll learn how to express yourself better in English. And I can even help you with your pronunciation and or enunciation, which is, or I meant really intonation, no, donde ponemos el estrés. So participate. You don't have to dig too deep this week. As always, I'll share mine as well. What is your biggest phobia or superstition? Record a 1-minute voice message and send it to my email address. Are you ready? Jot it down. It's aalonso@grupovon.com. alonso@grupovon.com. You can send it off your phone. It doesn't have to be MP3, but I have to be able to open the file. Which, by the way, Salva, I have your file. So we're going to listen to Salva, but after the commercial break, because I've got to load it into the soundboard. I forgot to do that part. See? Can't be on top of everything there. But even if it's like some weird file format, there are some people who send me it right from their phone, and that's fine. It's like ACC or some file, I don't know. I can always convert it. So don't worry about that. Obviously, pay attention to, if there's an echo, things like that, the sound quality. I can always bring the volume up, so don't worry too much about that. All right, amigos, let's go over to our virtual classroom here because we are in the middle of our pop quiz. Let's see who's on board and ready to rock. There's David. David says, good morning, Alberto and mates. What's up, David? Welcome aboard. You're always the first one here, and it's amazing to have you with us, as always. Let's see, Kubla, ready to rock. Kubla says, morning, congenial gang. You know what I'm thinking of when I bump into that spelling bee. I trust I can pull it off, or else you will see. Good morning, Sir Kubla. There's Machus. What's up, Machus? Always great to hear from you. She says, hi, Double A. How cute sounds your little princess. Hang on, Machus. I'm just gonna make a little adjustment. How cute your princess sounds, right? En vez de how cute sounds. How cute your little princess Lara sounds on the waves. I can tell she is a chip off the old block. Wow. Machus, did you just stop in here for that totally native? De tal palo tal astilla, que viene de ti, ¿no? She's a chip off the old block. Y piénsalo. A sculptor, un escultor, they start with a block of marble or granite. I don't remember what kind of rock they use. I guess it depends, right? And so they start out with a block. So if you're a chip off the old block, es lo mismo de tal palo, tal astilla. Estamos hablando de una piedra, ¿no? Que para esculpir, is that how you say it? To sculpt it. So if you think about it, it makes sense. It's a chip off the old block. Awesome stuff. There's Salvador. Salvador, you read my mind. We're going to be hearing from Salvador. We had a little technical issue, and we couldn't hear his audio in last week's question of the week. So we'll listen to it when we come back from our commercial break, because I haven't finished. I gotta do one more thing before we can listen to it. So Salvador says, morning, Double A and mates. Let's see what challenges lay ahead for us in today's show. Oh, yeah. Salva is ready to rock. He's got a lot to say, and he is going to tell us a little bit about last week's question of the week, which was, what was your biggest screw up? Tu mayor cagada. We've all had them. Believe me, the more languages you speak, the more screw ups you're bound to have. And to be bound to have is destinado a tener. De hecho, si dices, this is a Manhattan-bound train, this is a Brooklyn-bound train, es que va camino a Manhattan o a Brooklyn. Or northbound hacia el norte. This is good stuff to learn because what we're doing is playing with words. We always do that here on the show with no name. But right now, we've got to take a quick commercial break, amigos. We've got so much to do when we come back. We've got to check our pop quiz. We've got the Say What soundbite. We've got homophones, spelling bees, name that movie, famous birthdays, Double Trouble. You're Joking. What else? Name that lyric. Man, we've got a lot of stuff to do in the next hour and a half. So, if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Hey, amigos! Welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name. Exclusively on Vaughn Radio, where you can hear exciting English content all day long. All you have to do is download our free app. That's right, we've got a free app. And you can listen even in the bathroom when you're handling your business. Oh, hey, you don't have to get into detail with us, but there's no wrong place to learn English. Maybe you're preparing your dinner. Maybe you're in the bath. Hey, just be careful with the phone there. You don't want to get electrocuted. Oh, man. We want your English classes to be electrifying and shocking, but not in that way. You can listen to us on the go. You can listen to us when you're over the Atlantic. You know, that's the great thing. The first thing I do when I'm about to take a long trip, whether it's a road trip or by plane, is I download a playlist of podcasts that I want to listen to. On my last flight across the Atlantic, I learned all about the Roman Empire, you know? So take us with you wherever you go with our free Vaughn Radio app, amigos. And I'm also thrilled to tell you that right now we have got a special deal on Vaughn Groups. Do you know about Vaughn Groups? Well, I'm going to tell you all about them. They are group English classes that you can do via video conference or in person. And the good news is you can start whenever you want. And you can keep the same timetable, teacher, and classmates throughout the whole course. And the best part, there's no strings attached. Sin compromiso. And if you act now, you can get a 5% discount for paying up front. And if you stick with the course for 6 months, you'll get a 50% discount in June. Wow, what a deal! As if you needed more reasons to learn English with Vaughn. Check out our Vaughn groups. Have fun and make friends as you learn English. Sign up now while there are still spots available. Call us 911-385831, or you can go to our website, grupovaughn.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media and find out if Vaughn groups are for you. That's right, folks. All the information you need is at grupovaughn.com. Our phone number is 911-385831. Also, make sure you follow us on social media, and this way you won't miss a beat. No te pierdes ni una. All right, folks, it's time for today's Say What Soundbite. Yeah.
Say what?
Come on. Yeah.
Hi, Doctor. 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 Hi, Doctor.
Hi, Laura.
Hi, Doctor. Morning.
Morning, Chris. Hey, Kubla.
Morning, guys.
Hey, Onyx.
Hi, Alberto.
Hi, Nuria.
Hi.
Hey, Marisol. Those are all people who participated in last week's question of the week. Yeah, don't forget to participate this week. I want to know your biggest phobia, fear, whatever you want to call it, or superstition. I'm very superstitious. The writing's on the wall. All right. Let's check out today's Say What Soundbite. You're going to hear this audio clip 4 times. You have 4 chances to write it all down. But initially, I want what you heard in your best English. Now, this is one of my heroes, one of my role models, even though he was a bit way before my time. I shouldn't say a bit. But this guy is in the pantheon in his business. But I'm not going to tell you what his business is because I don't want to give it away. So everybody grab a pen, grab a piece of paper, and get ready to jot this down. This is the Say What soundbite for the first time.
I'll bet you say that to all your heroes, don't you? Huh? You know, we got more people on the show than we got in the audience tonight. That was very nice applause. I only wish we had the material tonight to match your confidence. But it's Friday.
All right, there you go, folks. Now, that is an unmistakable voice. I've got to say that in my country, most people from my generation back, so my mother's generation, my grandparents would know that voice in an instant. But you don't have to know the voice. All you have to do is first give me your feedback, your observations based on what you heard. And then hopefully by the end of the show, you can get every single word, dotting your I's and crossing your T's. All right, here we go, folks. This is the second listen of the Say What soundbite.
I'll bet you say that to all your heroes, don't you? Huh? You know, we got more people on the show than we got in the audience tonight. That was very nice applause. I only wish we had the material tonight to match your confidence. But it's Friday.
All right, folks. Great stuff. Let's see what you heard. You can participate over here in our virtual classroom. And also, as promised, I promised Salva that if he could send me the file and we could sort it out, I would play it. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to hear from your classmate, Salva, who expressed himself, I think, perfectly. So, great job, Salva. Here we go.
This is Salva from Valencia. I'm gonna go out of my desk and participate in today's question of the week. Actually, my hard time related to your language happened during one of the episodes of the show with no name. I wrote in the chat that one of the meanings of the word sprint is amortiguador. It was something meant to spark a conversation with my classmates, but when you read it, you joked sarcastically, and I got slightly upset for a while. That hard time that you gave me actually helped me to learn the right word, shock absorbent. On the other hand, I must admit that I made that very same mistake many times before, even though my native speaking friends tried to correct it. Also, when my daughter Laura makes silly mistakes with your language, I shouldn't, but I sometimes go bananas. So who am I to complain about you? Finally, I think that I speak on behalf of all of us when I say that we love the fact that you don't beat around the bush and you call spade a spade. That's all. Keep up the great work.
Salva, wow. And sorry, I didn't mean to, obviously. Sometimes I'm a little bit sarcastic. You're absolutely right, but I didn't mean to hurt your feelings at all. Believe me, buddy. I'm a ball breaker. Soy un poco toca pelotas. But don't take it personally. In my real life, Salva, if we were out having a beer and it wasn't English class, I wouldn't even dare correct you. So, Salva, thank you. Excellent usage of expressions over there as well. And as I always say, what better place to make mistakes than in your class? Because if you make the mistake in your class, maybe you won't make that same mistake out there in the real world. So, Salva, wonderful job. You sounded great. You really did. All right, my amigos. All right, what have we got to do? We got to do a lot of things. All right, we've got to look at our pop quiz. So let's get a little beat going. There it is. Let's see who's participating in the pop quiz. We've got Kubla in the house, and he says, on the one hand, I love reading Shakespeare. On the other hand, I always need to have an English dictionary by my side. Kubla, it's perfect. On the one hand, I love reading Shakespeare. Por un lado. On the other hand, en cambio, I always need to have it. It's true. I do too, Kubla, so don't feel bad. Also, another little thing here. You can say, hay dos opciones aquí, amigos. O sea, apúntalo, pero usa la que te parece más lógico. On one hand or on the one hand. Lo puedes usar con o sin the. So on one hand or on the one hand, as Kubla put. They're both correct. And the second part, on the other hand, well, that's the way it said. On the other hand, okay, we don't say on other hand. So it's in the first part that the is negotiable. So on one hand, on the one hand. The second part is always on the other hand. He oído mucha gente decir in the other hand. So just be careful with that preposition. Great job. Kubla also says, in spite of the fact that the weekend rushes away, I'm ready to log in and keep learning English with my lovely classmates and Super Teach. Great job. Fantastic job, Kubla, knocking it out of the park. And I know you love baseball, so great job. In spite of the fact, let's see, Chris says, morning, Alberto and mates. In spite of this gray day, we are going to bring the sun with the show with no name. Chris, you nailed it. So you both said in spite of. Remember this, you can also say despite, but never say despite of. ¿Ves? Ahí es donde tenemos el problema. So, again, as Kubla and Chris have both put, in spite of. Perfecto, lo compro. in spite of or despite the rain, despite the gray day. Lo único es no es despite of. O sea, es menos sílabas al final. That's up to you. Just don't mix them up. Let's see. Chris says, on the one hand, I love traveling. On the other hand, sometimes it's not affordable. Chris, you nailed it. Me too. Ditto. You say idem, ditto, como copia de lo que ella dice. Sure, or it's unaffordable. Not affordable es correcto, pero también hay un adjetivo que es it's unaffordable, pero también es unpronounceable. Unaffordable. Let's see, Vero. There she is, lovely Vero. She says, morning, beautiful show with no-namers, warriors around the universe. Let's squeeze this amazing week together, shall we? Yes, we shall. Vero, glad to see you here. There's Born to Iron Man. He never lets us down. And he says, morning, folks. Better late than never. Let's see, Daniela. What's up, Daniela? She says, hey there. Long time no talk. Hey, wait a second. Ahí tienes un totally native esperándote. Long time no talk. Although I listen to you every day, and you always make my day. Well, you know what? You just made my day with your magical comment. Thank you so much, Daniela. You are so, so sweet. There's Kubla. Kubla says, it sounded like an American stand-up comedian or a TV personality stressing the fact that there are more people in the show than in the audience because of the approaching weekend, Kubla. You nailed it, dude. You're all on fire today, man. Seriously, you guys are doing a wonderful job. I've got to say, you are bringing the thunder. Keep it up. Wow. Born to Iron Man says, bravo, Salva, amunt, Valencia. No doubt, Salva, you are awesome. And I'm not the only one who thinks it. You're getting lots of love from other classmates as well. Let's see, there's Leo, the lively. I'm not going to call you lovely, even though you are. I'll use that one for the ladies. You're lively. Con mucha vida. And he says, Lively Leo says, it sounds like a famous American host who is starting his late night show with a joke about having more people on his plate. Cuidado, no es plate, es un amigo falso. Plateau is his stage or his set, right? So just be careful with that one. Then in his show's audience. Great job, Leo. Let's see. We've got Hafiz. Hafiz says, hi, Alberto. Long time no watch the program. Great to have you with us. Hafiz in the house. All right, let's see. Chris Valrol participating in our Say What soundbite. And she says, I heard an American comedian who is talking to an audience. He says there's more staff than in the crowd. Oh, yeah. Wow, fantastic job. Amazing job to all of you who are participating in our Say What soundbite. You are all spot on. Spot on is clavado. Spot on, my amigos. All right, well, if nobody else has anything to say, I think we need to move on because, as you know, time flies when you're having fun here on the show. So it's time for today's Spelling Bee.
Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee.
That's right, amigos. It is today's Spelling Bee on the show with no name, and this is probably one of the most challenging sections on the show, but I have faith in you guys. I know that you guys will be able to figure it out. All right, here we go. We're going to get a little background noise here, but as you know, there's always a method to my madness. So, there's some music playing in the background. Hey, it's like life. Sometimes there's background noise, especially if you live in a big city like Madrid or New York. You'll hear sirens, people talking. I'm telling you, I live in Madrid. I live more in a town in Madrid, but I lived in the center, and it took me like two years to stop my ears from ringing from living in the center, from nonstop noise. Even if it's just background noise, like a hum, of the constant electricity. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, well, here we go, folks. Here's your spelling bee. These words do not have to be capitalized. Well, except the last one, but I'll say capital, okay? Here we go. The first word is Storage. The second word is Portable, space, Player. The third one is Handheld. The fourth one is Shuffle. The fifth one, Planned, space, Olescence. And the last one is, it's a date, so it's capital May, the 10th, and the year is 2022. There you go, folks. I just gave you a date there at the end. I should have told you, but we'll see if you guys got it anyway. Also, let me give you another clue that might help you guys out. Hey, I try and help you out as much as I can. Some called this man a master marketer. Some deemed him a visionary with the demeanor of a charismatic cult leader who was light years ahead of his time. Detractors say he was demanding and could even be downright despicable at times. A few foes have even called him a phony. Whatever you may think of this risk taker, one thing's for certain. He changed the way we'd communicate forever. He left behind a legacy and the wise words,
stay hungry, stay foolish.
We'll decipher Steve Jobs on this week's episode of FYI. Welcome to For Your Info.
Inglés.
So I just played the intro to the Steve Jobs episode of FYI. If you haven't listened to it, give it a listen. You can find it on your favorite podcast platform. Just search for Your Inglés. And for your convenience, I just shared the link. So if you're in the YouTube or Facebook group, you'll see it right now in the comments. All right, now it looks like we've got somebody taking a stab at it. Let's see over here. The first one to take a stab at it is Kubla. And Kubla, the first one is correct. The second one is correct. The third one is also correct. The fourth one's correct. The fifth one is correct. And the sixth one is also correct. Wow, Kubla. Off to an amazing start today. Vaya comienzo. What an amazing start. All of you, Kubla, you're doing a great job, but the rest of you as well. I am extremely proud. Keep up the great work. Well, I'm just saying, because we're not even halfway there. We've got a lot of challenges up ahead. But first, let's do round 2 of our spelling bee. Is everybody ready? All right, let's get that background going. There we go. This is like real life. Here we go. The first one is Storage. O-R-A-G-E. The next one is P-O-R-T-A-B-L-E space P-L-A-Y-E-R. The third one is H-A-N-D-H-E-L-D. The fourth one is S-H-U-F-F-L-E. The fifth one is P-L-A-N-N-E-D space O-B-S-O-L-E-S-C-E-N-C-E. And the last one, I got mixed up there a second. Pardon me. Hey, see? Native speakers too. We screw up. I think I got it right, though, at the end. Because I started looking at the next one. Anyway, the last one is a date. It's May 10th, 2022. So not too long ago. May 10th, 2022. I guess it's some kind of important date, isn't it? Kubla says, it looks like a set of words linked to the popular iPod. Yes, it is, sir. You are correct. Also, give it up for your classmate, Lupe. Great job, Kubla. And Lupe, you got it. This is today's Spelling Bee. And yes, they are words that are related to the iPod. And why did I choose those? Well, because today in 2001, Apple Computers released the very famous iPod. Folks, we've got to go to a quick commercial break right now. I know what you're thinking. Already? Yeah, that's the way it works. The good news is we'll be back momentarily with tons more Show with No Name 2.0. We've got a lot of challenges up ahead. We've got homophones, double trouble, name that movie, name that lyric, jokes, and so much more. So, stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. This is the second half. I can't believe it. I hope you guys are having fun and you're enjoying yourselves and learning a little English to boot. ¿A la bota? Well, to boot means as well. También, also. I hope you're having fun and learning some English to boot. Y además. Oh. This is kind of like Halloween music, isn't it? I know, I'm obsessed. You should see my front door. My neighbors either love me or think I'm crazy. The other day I caught a neighbor looking at our door. She was like, oh my God. I'm like, you like it? She goes, I love it. We've got a witch. We've got some pumpkins. And today, as I told you guys, I don't know if I told you last week, but today I'm going to be doing a pumpkin carving workshop here in my community with the kids. We're going to be carving pumpkins. So they're going to come with pumpkins and they're leaving with jack-o'-lanterns. It's going to be tons of fun. It's a great activity, but parental supervision is strongly advised. If you think it's hard to cut an apple or, a cucumber, just imagine a pumpkin. So you have to use sharp knives. And sharp knives and young kids don't mix. So let's hope there are no accidents. I don't want anybody getting hurt. All right, amigos, welcome back. Right now it is time for Homophones on the show with no name.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. Sing it, show with no name. Sing it, show with no name. I don't hear you at all. Oh, right. That's not the way radio works. Well, you would think with all the technology that you could find a way for us to hear all of you, but guess what? That is possible now, and that is our question of the week. I hope you guys are thinking already. You don't have to think too much. Some of them are soul-searching questions. No, preguntas que te hacen como buscar en tu profundidad. What is your... But this one is pretty straightforward. What scares the shit out of you? What scares the bejesus out of you? And the bejesus is the same. You scared the hell out of me. You scared the shit out of me. You scared the bejesus out of me. There you go. We can't have a show without the Wilhelm scream. Sí, así se llama ese efecto. Es un efecto famosísimo. All right, let's focus here, because you know me, I get sidetracked. Me voy por las ramas. Focus, Alberto. The first word is basura. Garbage, right? It's trash, but in the street. Normally, when you say this word for trash, it's trash that has not been thrown in a trash can or a trash bin or a rubbish bin, as my British friends would say. All right? So that is basura. It's also arena sanitaria, which is what cats have, right? They have a caja con esta arena. It's also camada, crías, o cachorros. So it's a baby animal as well. This is the first word so far. It's also the verb to throw trash where it doesn't belong. So if you throw a cigarette butt, una colilla, I think you say, a cigarette butt out the window, well, you're doing this. This is the verb. And what else? Let me see if there's any other usage that's pretty common. Yeah, that's about it. Those are the most common ones over there. So basura en la calle, trash that you find in the street. The arena, that sand or whatever that material is that you use for cats when they got to go pee-pee and poopy, and you put it in that box. But it's also, if you want to say baby cats,
kittens, you would say, había una camada, unas crías, right? So we'll take a look at it as we always do in context. And this way, if you have any doubts, we'll clear them up. The second word is a measurement. Now, if you're in my country, you spell it well, I'm not going to tell you the word. You spell it differently. The end is spelled differently than if you're in British English. I'll accept either one because in the end, they're pronounced the same, basically. All right? So now what I want to know is, do the words, the second word, litro, si no lo has pillado, yo sé que lo sabéis, it's a measurement, litro. It's spelled differently in British English and American English. Does that second word sound the same as the first word? Basura, arena sanitaria, camada, tirar basura o contaminar would be another way to say it as well. Also, here's your Say What soundbite for the third time. Please write down what you hear.
I'll bet you say that to all your heroes, don't you? You know, we got more people on the show than we got in the audience tonight. That was very nice applause. I only wish we had the material tonight to match your confidence. But it's Friday.
All right, there you go, my amigos. That is the third listen. You'll hear that one more time, and then we'll analyze it a little bit later on. But I can tell you that is one of the most famous entertainers in the history of the United States. So we'll take a look at this guy, and we'll see who he is. Some of you might even know who he is. And even the line, there's a line when they introduce this guy, they say, here's no sé qué. I'm not going to tell you his name because we'll figure it out later. Here's no sé qué, no sé quién, ese nombre. And that has become so famous that if you remember the scene, speaking of Halloween, from the movie The Shining, El Resplandor, there's a scene where Jack Nicholson's character has an axe and he's chopping the door down and he sticks his head through the broken part of the door. It's a famous picture too. And he goes, here's Paco. Well, he doesn't say that, but that's based on how they introduced this guy. So it's such a part of the culture that it's in other parts of pop culture too. That's pretty crazy. All right, let's take a look. Kubla. Those are the correct words, and I love that you spelled them a la americana, even though when you speak, you have more of a British kind of sound to you. But I appreciate that you put it in American English. Now I can read it correctly. And he says they sound the same. All right. Let's see. The next one is Daniela. Daniela is back with a vengeance. And she says, and those are the correct words. And she says they are homophones. All right. Anybody else? Chris Valrol. Those are the correct words. And she says they are homophones. So right now it is unanimous. You guys are saying that that both of these words, not all of them, one of them has many meanings, but that both of these words sound exactly the same. All right. Well, we're going to check that out. First, we got to give a nice round of applause to Kubla for nailing the Say What soundbite after the third listen. Nice job, dude. Wow. Impressive. All right. Now, so it looks like you guys all nailed the homophones here. Let's see. The first word, as always, I'm going to say the words, and then you guys tell me if they sound the same or not. The first word is litter. Okay, litter. Litter. If you say it British, litter. Don't litter. Americans, más una vez. Litter. But the vowel sound is the same. El sonido vocal no cambia ahí, eh? I told him not to litter. I told him not to litter. Itter. So same sound there. Litter. Okay, so it's a verb too. Look at all the litter on the highway. I guess a lot of people started to litter. Verbo sustantivo. I have to change the kitty litter, or the litter box is another way to say it as well. The litter box, arena sanitaria, because the kitten just had a litter. The cat just had a litter of kittens. Una camada, unas crías. So what a great word. I mean, with a lot of meanings there, litter. And the second word, Ok, te voy a decir, han contaminado la autovía con botellas de litro. Ok. So the highway, te lo doy en otro, está contaminado con, ¿no? Ensuciado con. The highway is littered with liter bottles. The highway is littered with liter bottles. I told you not to litter that liter bottle. Are they homophones for real? No, they aren't. Ooh, wow. Hey, wait, hey, applause for me. It's hard to stump you guys. Jeez Louise. I think that was the first time in history that I've ever stumped you guys on a homophones over there. At least somebody has gotten it right. Even the really tricky ones, even the ones that are sometimes homophones and sometimes they're not, depending on what accent you speak with. But in this case, the sounds are the same. He has a liter of beer, and I told him not to litter. Not at all. Not the same vowel sound over there. So I'll say them in American English because I think that's easier for me. I'll stick to American English. The first word is litter. 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 And the second word is liter. Can I have a liter of beer? Which, by the way, in American English, we call it a 40. ¿Sabéis por qué? Let's see if we know any people who know their conversions out there. A liter is 40 ounces of beer. So you say un litrillo, una litrona. I love that in Madrid. Una litrona. Well, we say in English a 40 because it's a 40 ounce. You'll hear it in a lot of rap songs. So it's not the exact translation, right? Because we use different measurements. So the word litter that you'll see if you go to the United States, you'll see it all over the highway. Don't litter. There's a fine for littering, okay? And liter, which is the measurement. So, man, I think that was the first time I've ever stumped all of you guys. All right, well, let's see what we've got. We need to take a look really quickly at our spelling bee words over here. Great job, by the way. Thanks to everybody who participated in the spelling bee. Wonderful job. As I said, today is the day that Apple computers released the iPod in 2001. 2001, the iPod was released today, and it changed music forever. I think so. What happened to the Discman and the Walkman after that? They went the way of the dodo. ¿Te tengo que explicar la expresión? Siguieron el camino del dodo, como dice el pájaro ese que es that extinct bird. They went the way of the dodo. Now the iPod is obsolete, but also because of Steve Jobs. So, and his company, obviously, his engineers, it's not just him. But Apple made their own product obsolete. They're like, well, why do I need a separate product if I can store 80 million gigabytes on my phone? Or put it in the cloud, which when I was a kid was something that, produced rain. Now, the cloud is where you keep all your memories. It's interesting how words change, too. Like the word storage. 20 years ago, you said the word storage. Somebody was talking about a storage unit. Un almacén de estos que alquilas. Trastero, you say. A storage unit. Right? Where you store your things. Ojo con la pronunciación, no es storage. It's storage. Rima con bridge. Storage. I don't have any storage, almacenamiento. And to store is almacenar. So that's a word that's totally, you think of storage, you think of, in a supermarket, the storage room where they keep all the extra products, right? Where they store everything, almacenar. So now that word talks about how much memory you have, which is another word. Memory before is, I don't have any memory. Now, if you say that to me, I'm like, oh, you're forgetful? No, in my phone, in my cloud. Interesting how words change. Number 2, portable player. I remember one student telling me, do you like my new MP3 lector? Lector, lectore MP3. I was like, you can call it a player. Right? Que toca, lo toca, it plays it. So portable, y esa terminación able, ible, able, un toro. It's portable. It fits in the palm of your hand. The next one is handheld. That's another thing. It can be used not just for this, right? This is a handheld lo que sea. It means it fits in the palm of your hand. The next one is to shuffle. To shuffle is to mix it up. You guys remember the iPod Shuffle? It played songs, well, aleatoriamente. Also, though, to shuffle your feet is to arrastrar los pies. I remember my mom saying it to me. Alberto, stop shuffling your feet. Walk right. It was, because my posture, al final es postura. You're shuffling your feet, then your back is off. You're not walking right. And that can cause problems in the long run. Shuffle. So you can shuffle songs on a playlist. You can also shuffle a deck of cards. Una baraja. So a good word to know, shuffle. It's also a dance from back in the day. We do the shuffle, the truffle shuffle. Number 5, planned obsolescence. This is, people say obsolescence and obsolescence. The adjective is, it's obsolete. So it's up to you. I've heard both by pros, obsolescence and obsolescence. To me, obsolescence sounds better, and it's obsolete. I've never heard that one pronounced any other way. And this is why your battery doesn't work, or when you upgrade to the next software, your phone starts having glitches, fallos. These glitches that all of a sudden, start happening with the new software. And obviously there's a big debate around that. And speaking of becoming obsolete, May 10th, 2022. So only 2 years ago, less than 2 years ago, they discontinued the iPod. But think about that. From 2001 to 2022, that's 20 years being the premier MP3 player. And let's be honest, once the iPod came out, you may have Sony, Zen, whatever, but they were all copying the iPod. And then the iPod was, later indispensable when designing the ever famous iPhone, which was and still is a cultural revolution. You can say the phones have lost quality, and I talk about that in the Steve Jobs episode, that their products have lost quality, they've lost style. You can get a Samsung, it does the same exact thing, maybe better. In fact, they use their own, the iPhone uses the OLED screen, Samsung technology. So they use each other's products as well. Think about that. Either way, amigos, if you haven't listened to the episode, give it a listen. I left the link in the comments. I think you'll get a kick out of it. Que lo disfrutarás. All right, amigos, I'll tell you what, though. We've got to get moving. We've got so much to do, so it's time to go to the movies. Name that movie. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You know it. It is time for today's Name That Movie. And you know what? I want to take you guys deep into an interesting place. I like to get you in the right mood, right? Here and on FYI. So here we go. When an expedition to the African Congo ends in disaster, a new team is assembled to find out what went wrong. Whoa. Is that a gorilla? Or an ape? Simio? Oh, maybe it's my cousin. He smells like an ape. So when an expedition, muy fácil esa palabra, ¿no? Expedición, to the African Congo ends in disaster, a new team is assembled to find out what went wrong. Que falló. All right. And as you can imagine, they had to do a little rescue there using a prop plane And what is that? Oh, that can mean two different things. Prop is como de atrezo, falso, but also prop is a propeller. Hélice. So yes, we are in the Congo today, the African Congo, and it is wild. And ladies and gentlemen, we have got some winners. They made it to the waterfall at the end of the tunnel. Give it up for Chris and Kubla. Awesome job. Awesome job. The flick is Congo. That's right, Congo. And this is Michael Crichton. I don't know if you know that name. Does that name ring a bell? Michael Crichton. Tu culo está aparcado. Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park. All right, not funny at all. No, you're right. You're right. It wasn't funny. It wasn't. All right, let's take a look at this Congo movie, which I think is awesome. I'm a huge Michael Crichton fan in general. So Dr. Peter Elliott says, here's the story. Wait, let's get in the mood, right? Shouldn't we get back into the jungle? Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and game. We got everything you want. We know the name. We are the people that can find whatever you may need. If you got no money, honey, we got your disease in the jungle. All right, I'll focus. I promise. Here's the story. They're domesticated gorillas. And Monroe says, you call that domesticated? They're killing a man. Están matando a un hombre. And then the doctor answers, so they taught them to be this way. Sí, así que les enseñaron a ser así. They bred them to violence, and not bred pan, aunque suena igual. Okay? It's breed, bred, procrear. They bred them to violence. They looked for the trait, el rasgo. They looked for the trait, and they encouraged it. Lo alentaron. It's a great word, to encourage. We also say a lot of times, thanks for the encouragement. It's muy común. That was very encouraging of you. And then Dr. Karen Ross says, guard dogs, perros guardias. And they turned on their masters. And to turn on their master is to go crazy. So if you have a pit bull and he's a great dog and you're taking care of him and everything is lovely and one day he turns on you, that means he goes against you, okay? So he says, and they turned on their masters. And Monroe says, what's that smell? ¿Qué es ese olor? And they come across a pile of bones. Topan con una pila de huesos. And he says, these are all the bones of gorillas, los huesos de los gorillas. And Monroe says, you mean these are the... And Dr. Peter Elliott cuts him off. Le interrumpe. He cuts him off and he says, no, these are the bones of normal gorillas. And he picks up a skull. Careful with this word, because I've heard so many people mispronounce this word. The cranium, it's not skull, it's skull. It's not a homophone for escuela. Skull. So he picks up this skull and he says, this one's skull was crushed, aplastado. And to crush something is aplastar. But also, as a person, if you say, man, I was really crushed when I found out that terrible news is estaba destruido, derrumbado. I was crushed. I was destroyed. And I'm sure you know the other usage of it, to have a crush on someone, right? You can say blah, blah, blah is my crush, right? Or you can say, when I was a kid, I had a crush on, estaba embobado. Would that be a good translation? I had a crush on Mary Poppins. And that's a true story, folks. But I'm not going to tell you about that now. As we say in English, that's neither here nor there. Eso no está ni aquí ni ahí. Significa no viene a cuento. Well, right now, we've got to go to our third commercial break. the good news. We'll be right back with the fourth and final part of today's show with no name. I hope you guys join us because we've got so much to do before I leave you in wonderful, great hands with the lovely Ximena Holiday. So, stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to this, the fourth and final part of today's show with no name here on Vaughn Radio. Right after today's show, you've got Ximena Holiday and Test Your English. After that, you've got the lunchtime show with Rob and Andy. Don't miss it. And then you've got our newest program, Speak Up, with Ruby every day from 3 to 4 p.m. After that, you can hang out with Jules Linares and get random. She puts it on shuffle to look at the word we looked at before. She'll switch it up every day. Then after that, you've got the salad with the multifaceted Dave Boys. And then Kyle Miller's Drive Time. And one of our newest shows for the drive home, or whether you're at the gym, wherever you may be, you can join Chris Frank in Frankly Speaking from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. every Monday through Friday. Weekdays, and on the weekends, you can hear repeats, or you can download it and listen wherever you listen to podcasts, amigos. All right. So much to do here on the show with no name. So let's rock and roll over here with today's double.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
That's right, amigos. It's Double Trouble only on the show with no name, and we've got to take a look at today's double. What? Wait, who brought their cat along? I mean, wait a second. Is this thing trained? Oh man, I hope it doesn't pee all over my equipment. All right, down, boy. Okay, girl, whatever. All right, relax. Man, we're cool. All right. Well, obviously, it's got something to do with... Hey, we looked at the word litter before, so I guess it would make sense. And as you know, this section is the cat's pajamas. ¿Qué? ¿Los pijamas del gato? ¿Qué estás loco? Yeah, pero también es una expresión. Lo mejor de lo mejor. All right, here we go. Let's see if you guys can figure out today's double trouble. I think it's the cat's pajamas. The dog's bullocks. What? Los huevos del perro. Sí, lo has oído bien. Hey, don't shoot the messenger. I didn't make up the expression. It's very British. Mate, that's the dog's bullocks. Suena como algo negativo, ¿no? Los huevos del perro. Pues no. Los pijamas del gato. Pues mira, lo mejor de lo mejor. And you put them together and you got a slumber party, ¿no? All right, here we go. Los gatitos se alejarán de los animales callejeros por naturaleza. Okay? So, los gatitos se alejarán de los animales callejeros por naturaleza. Alejarse, apartarse, desviarse. It says here. También significa extraviarse, perderse, vagar, right? A person can do it too. ¿No? Si yo lo hago siempre, divagar. Oh, mira, es una palabra que aprendí de Héroes de Silencio. Divagar, right? They have, pero I forget which one. Is it Maldito Duende? He says something divagar. Now I know what it means. Thank you, Enrique Burnbury. I appreciate it. Divagar. I remember it now. So, de un tema. I do it all the time, but that's why this show doesn't have a name. We can go wherever we want with it, as long as we're learning English and having fun along the way. All right, so I think it's a pretty tough double trouble there, but I know someone is going to figure it out. So, los gatitos se alejarán, ¿no? Mantener distancia, apartarse de los animales callejeros por naturaleza. That is your double trouble, amigos. Good luck. Also, I'm going to give you the Say What soundbite. This is the fourth and final listen. Please write down what you hear.
I'll bet you say that to all your heroes, don't you? Huh? You know, we got more people on the show than we got in the audience tonight. That was very nice applause. I only wish we had the material tonight to match your confidence. But it's Friday.
All right, there you go. As I said, Kubla got it before. Let's see if anybody else can figure it out. If not, we'll take a look at it in about 10, 15 minutes or so, and I'll tell you who it is, what they're saying, and, you know, what it's from and all that jazz. Y todo eso and all that jazz. All right. It seems like the hardest sections today were, so far, homophones, because nobody got it, and double trouble. Because right now I'm waiting over here, and I've got my kitties. There they are. I've got my kitties here with me. Let's see. Oh, Kubla. Kubla is going to take a stab at it. Let's see what Kubla came up with. He says, the kittens. Muy bien. The kittens lo conocéis, ¿no? Sí. Esta muy famosa gatita, Hello Kitty. De hecho, cuando vosotros decís miso, 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 we say kitty, kitty, here, kitty, 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 here, kitty, 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 comes from kitten. So when you say, oh, kitty, kitty is hasta más mono que kitten. Oh, come here, you little kitty cat. So the kittens will stray from stray animals by nature. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Kubla. The kittens will stray from stray animals by nature. That's right, stray. So let me give you some examples, right? The young boy had strayed far from home and he was lost. So as a verb, to stray, to lose your way. I always think about it like you have a flock of whatever animal, you know, you got a group of animals, okay? Let's say kittens. And one just, you know, marches to the beat of his own drum. Va a su bola. And eventually so much that one goes off and joins the circus or whatever. So, extraviarse, perderse. And if you think about it, un animal callejero, ¿qué es? Está extraviado, ¿no? O se ha perdido from his natural habitat, or from, if it's a domesticated pet, well, then from its home, from its owners, right? So a stray animal. And Alberto, don't stray. You're always straying. Stay on topic. I know, it's impossible. I do it on FYI, believe me. Even though I stray, I'm always straying pretty, I don't stray far away. Let's put it that way. I don't stray far away from the lecture at hand. The lecture at hand is el tema en cuestión. So, folks, our buddy Kubla nailed the double trouble. The kittens will stray away from stray animals by nature. And there's a famous group called the Stray Cats. ¿Y qué canción cantan ellos? No, I totally typed it wrong. Let's see. S-T-R-A-Y. I can't talk and type at the same time. Let's see. Stray Cats. What songs do they have here? So they got Stray Cat Strut, como el pavoneo del stray cat. She's Sexy and 17. Rock This Town. We're going to rock this town, rock it inside out. We're going to rock this town, rock it inside out. I think that's the song. Well, that's the Stray Cats. Por si conocías este grupo de rockabilly, de rock and roll clásico americano. But amigos, it's time to move on. We're not here to talk about music. Not yet. We're going to get to Name That Lyric. Right now, it's You're Joking.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar.
You're joking. That's right, amigos. That's right. You're joking, only on the show with no name. And hopefully you guys are having fun, but now you're going to have a laugh, I hope. And if you get the joke, wonderful. If you don't get it, don't worry. I will explain it afterwards. Chris says, I used to listen to Stray Cats. Well, there you go. Now you know that word, and not just the word, the idea behind the word, right? Extraviarse, extraviado, salir de donde tienes que ir, del camino, descarrilarse. So great stuff, Chris. Now you've got the idea behind it. All right, so here we go, folks. Here we go with some of the greatest jokes you'll ever hear in your life. I'm totally joking. They're just mediocre at best. Here we go. Why does the lion say, I'm king of the jungle? And he's not lying. Okay, bad. See, I started really bad there, huh? No, y no miente. Okay, so why does the lion say, I'm the king of the jungle? Easy. Because he has main character syndrome. No. Main character syndrome. Main character? No. Main. No? Anybody get it? Kubla got it. Good. Kubla, no sé cómo has deletreado la palabra lion ahí. Cuidado. León es con I latina. Okay. Just so nobody writes it down. So, Oh, I see what you're doing. No. Lying, yeah. León es con L-I-O-N, right? Leo says, bravo, Kubla. I didn't have a cat in hell's chance to answer today's double trouble. Well, Leo, I was expecting you. Believe it or not, you came to mind. All right. So why does the lion say I'm the king of the jungle? Because he has main character syndrome. Main character is personaje principal. So the main character in a movie, for example. Right? But also main, M-A-N-E, que se dice igual que M-A-I-N, es melena. A mane is what a lion has. He has main character syndrome. Okay, all right. The jungle is such a supportive place. Did you guys ever notice that about the jungle? No, hay tanto apoyo ahí. It's a very encouraging place, you know? I always feel like there are people there on my side. Yeah, it's true. Especially those plants. They're always rooting for you. No. The jungle is such a supportive place. All the plants are rooting for you. Root, siendo raíz, right? Plants have roots. But to root for is animar. Go, team, go, right? You guys root for each other. I see the way you're rooting for each other right now. You should know the verb because you do it every day. You cheer each other on or you root for each other. Mira como los dos son preposiciones diferentes. So to root for somebody or to cheer somebody on, I, as your teacher, am always rooting for you. I'm here to cheer you on. So you get it? Why is the jungle such a supportive place? Because the plants are always rooting for you. All right. Where do monkeys go to work out? Where do monkeys go to work out? The jungle gym. My daughter thinks I'm one of these, by the way. In fact, she even says, Daddy, you're my jungle gym. A jungle gym. Juegos del parque. So jungle gym, ¿cómo lo dirías? Pasamanos, juegos de plaza, de patio, no? So where you would say, how would you say this? We call it a playground, but the jungle gym is the thing you climb on at the playground. So it can have many forms, right? But the general, you got the monkey bars, you got a lot of different things. But the whole area where you can climb and hang, that area is called a jungle gym. That's why my daughter, she climbs on me, up on my head, on my shoulder, and I'm like, I'm not your jungle gym. So gym, el gimnasio de la jungla. Well, hey, you never know. Maybe he likes to swing around and swing by the jungle gym. No, swing by. Pasarse por ahí. Hey, if you're in my area, swing by. All right, last one here. Why don't leopards play hide and seek? El escondite. Hide, busca. Hide, hid, hidden, es irregular. And seek, sought. To seek es buscar. Dos verbos super irregulares. Hide and seek. My daughter loves playing hide and seek, although she's not very good at it. Because she goes, all right, I'm going to go hide in the bathroom now, but you don't look. I'm like, you don't get the game, do you? So why don't leopards, leopardos, play hide and seek? Because they're always spotted. No. Well, something that is spotted has spots. De lunares, con manchas, moteado. But also, if you spot something, you see it, right? Divisar, localizar, detectar. Escucha este double trouble. I spotted a spot on your shirt, right? Localicé, detecté una mancha en tu camiseta. De ahí viene el plane spotting. Estamos detectando, localizando los aviones. To spot, oh, I spotted a 757. Did you spot it? Did you see it? That's why we're called spotters, right? Those people like me who love to look at planes and spot them. So you get it? Why don't leopards play hide and seek? They're always spotted. Siempre les encuentran, los ubican, los identifican. All right, folks, it's time for a little celebration in famous birthday trivia.
For you. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Famous birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's famous birthdays, and we've got a really famous student celebrating a birthday. So a nice happy birthday to Monse.
Happy birthday to you.
Monse.
Happy birthday to you.
Monse.
Happy birthday.
Monse, happy birthday.
We love you.
We love you, Monse. Happy birthday from all of us to all of you. Hope you have an amazing day. All right, let's see who's lucky enough to share a birthday with Monse. The first person was born in 1959, an American singer, songwriter, and comedian, the king of parodies. So he did Like a Surgeon, cutting for the very first time, como cirujano en vez de like a virgin. Eat it, just eat it, en vez de beat it. Instead of bad, he did Michael Jackson fat. So this guy is the king of parodies. And I got to say, I listen to this guy religiously. I miss his music. But you can learn English, especially if you there's a lot of humor in it. So really funny guy. And he's got my name. But they call him Raro, Alberto Raro. Bueno, paro ahí. I just gave you his name. Oh, and he plays an accordion, among other instruments. Number 2, I'll say a couple words to you right now. The creator of the one and only Jurassic Park series. Also, The Great Train Robbery, Congo, Rising Sun, Airframe, and so much more. This guy is a legendary writer. And last but not least, here's Johnny. You got to give me the person's last name. Here's Johnny. Esa frase es famosísima. Lo verás en El Resplandor. Monse says, thank you guys. You're the best. I almost share a birthday with a friend of mine called Edurne. Hers was on the 20th, and we're together on a road trip. Well, Edurne, happy belated birthday to you as well. And also happy birthday to Weird Al Yankovic, Michael Crichton, and Johnny Carson. Chris, you nailed it. Chris, lo petaste. You nailed it there in our famous birthdays. And that's going to bring us to Johnny Carson, the most legendary talk show host ever. And you can watch a lot of his videos. He was clean. He didn't feel the need to attack any groups or anything. It was clean family humor, right? Fun for the whole family. Wholesome, como decimos, limpio, right? And so he says, I'll bet you say that to all your heroes, don't you? Because he gets a huge applause. Y dice, yo apuesto que dices eso a todos tus héroes, esa reacción. He goes, you know, we've got more people on the show than we've got in the audience tonight. Está haciendo su monólogo, his opening monologue. And he goes, that was a very nice applause. Eso fue un gran aplauso. I only wish we had the material tonight to match your confidence, para igualar tu confianza en nosotros. But it's Friday, and that's interesting. I know a lot of people who say Friday instead of Friday. I don't. I say Friday, but I've heard that one. It sounds a bit antiquated, but I've heard it before. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I'm like, D or day? Well, here you go. Here's Johnny.
I'll bet you say that to all your heroes, don't you? You know, like we got more people on the show than we got in the audience tonight. That was very nice applause. I only wish we had the material tonight to match your confidence. But it's Friday.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is... No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. Name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
That's right, folks. Name that lyric. And thank you to all of you who participated and learned and laughed with us today. It's been an absolute pleasure, as always. We were celebrating Monse's birthday today as well. So, Monse, may you continue the birthday celebration with your amiga on the road. It sounds like a great plan. All right. So, folks, thank you. You did a wonderful job today. This is probably the first time I've ever stumped everybody on a homophone. So I don't want to stump you, but wow, it's hard. It's really hard. And that's because you guys are friggin' awesome. Let me give you the song. The song is called Lonely Teenager by the Belmonts. Lonely Teenager. And it goes like this. If you want to look up the lyrics, it goes, I want to go home where I belong. Quiero ir ahí a casa donde pertenezco. Because now, a lot of times instead of because, we say cause. Because now I'm a lonely teenager. When I was 16, I ran away all alone. Astray. We know that word. Stray is this extraviada, apartada, right? We looked at the word today in our double trouble. When I was 16, I ran away all alone. Astray. What can I do? What can I say? I'm a lonely teenager. Now I'm 17, still all alone. It reminds me of the Johnny Carson stuff. Pretty innocent lyrics. And wondering if I should go home. Debería volver a casa, or maybe stay out on my own. Yo solita. I'm a lonely teenager, and I'd love to go back home where I belong. I know I'll be all right. Sé que estaré bien. If I just stay out of sight. Si no me ven. I want to go home where I belong, because now I'm a lonely teenager. Wow. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Awesome song. It reminds most people of yesteryear. I highly recommend you check out Johnny Carson too. You can find a lot of his videos online. Just fun, wholesome humor. Kind of reminds me of this song. So thank you so much, everybody. I hope you had some nice, wholesome fun with us here on the show with no name. Ciao. Sing it with me.
Where